Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, it's been a few days. I had a very busy weekend and early portion of the week. So, I haven't really had a chance to do anything since I was able to get the car started. I unfortunately haven't had a chance to do a base idle reset or any of the other things that I wanted to look at. Things just got kind of crazy real fast. So pretty much what I did, the majority of what I did, was put the car kind of diagonally in the garage to give myself some room. One, in the garage to kind of move some of the stuff back there around, toss some of it, all that good stuff, and two, give myself a little room on the other side of the car so I can work from both sides now, which is awesome. I haven't been able to do that in a long time. So here's kind of what I want to do. I want to get the car in the sun for the first time in, let's see, the last time I pulled the car out was when I had it up for sale. That was 8-9 years ago. So for the first time in almost a decade, we're gonna get some sunlight on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the camera set up back there, start it up, and back it out into the driveway. And then I'm gonna come back and kind of talk about some of the things that I've noticed while I've had it running a few times, and some possible things that may need to be worked out. There are a few things, as you can imagine. I don't think it's really anything out of the ordinary for cars of this age, but there's some work I've got to do to it. So we're going to talk about that stuff and just see where it all goes. So anyway, I will get this thing set up and we'll get rolling on it. Okay, so let's move to the side a little bit so you guys can see that. So I'm just kind of sitting on the bumper support here. So as I'm sure you could hear from it idling there, it's surging a little bit at idle, running a little rough, and I suppose I kind of expected that, and that's fine. It seems to even out quite a bit after a little while of running. But what I've been doing is disconnecting the battery because I don't know if there's any kind of thing in there that would, like an electrical leak or something that might drain the battery, and I don't want to take my chances and have to replace a new battery. So I'm sure at least a portion of that is the computer relearning everything that's going on with it every time it starts back up. Because after a few minutes it does seem to even out. So but we do have a little bit of surging. There is a bit of idle hang. it seems like there's a difference in idle between reverse and first gear. So I don't really know what that would be, but that's something I'm gonna have to look into. Other than that, you know, I think it's just pretty standard stuff for a car that hasn't run in this amount of time. You know, I'm sure that these spark plug wires need to be, well, they do need to be replaced. There's no question about it. Those were on my 93 back in the day, and they're old. They're old, guys. So, you know, that may contribute to it. There may be a bit of a timing thing. It is running a little bit rich right now. You can smell it. That's pretty much how I know. But, you know, it doesn't seem too bad. Again, that could have something to do with, you know, the whole computer thing. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's something else going on. A little bit of an exhaust leak. One of the exhaust bolts is has backed off a little bit. So those are kind of the things that I've noticed so far. So, you know, there's a few things I'm going to start with. Probably do the cap and rotor and wires, and see if that helps anything, since those have to be done anyway. I'd rather not mess with starting to you know, like do a base idle reset on, you know, something that isn't performing at its optimal level to begin with. I will need to check the timing on it too, because I don't even know where that's at. I'm guessing it's 10 or 11 degrees. Since the last time I did it, I had to pass smog, and I think they allow 2 or 3 degrees bumped up in smog, so it can't be that much. It's not going to be that high, but you know, who knows? You know, it's been a long time since I worked on the engine stuff, so we'll see about all that. But you know, I got some fishing around to do, and just kind of, you know, figuring stuff out, which is great. I like doing this stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna grab the camera and take you around the car in the sunlight. I'm just super excited about it. I'm super excited I got to pull out of the garage under its own power. That is, that's awesome. Sorry, I got a piece of cashew stuck up in the back of my mouth. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the progress that's been made so far. Now, here's the other thing too. All my videos up to this point have, you know, most of it's been pretty low-hanging fruit as far as, you know, what's been getting done. I've been doing a lot of the easy and expensive stuff. So, you know, I've gotten to a point now where, other than chasing down all these little things, you know, things are gonna start getting expensive, probably real fast. I'm gonna do my best to try and remain as budget-minded as I can on this. But you know, you know how it is. I mean, I'm already, you know, committed in my mind to building a new short block for the car, and with that I'm going to do new heads. I guess I'm just doing a whole new motor. You know, it's not just going to be a short block. So that's going to be one heck of a project, and that's going to take me a while because I'm going to have to save up for all that stuff. So anyway, let's get around the car and check it out. All right, here she is. All of her front bumperless glory right here. It's looking pretty good. I'll tell you what, if you're interested in having a car that doesn't move from side to side like that while you're taking turns, those strut tower braces really do a good job at keeping things in line. And I'm sure the big old sway bars help too. So I got my ponies kind of cleaned up a little bit. They're not perfect, they're not in the best shape, but hey, they look better. They look better. So let me actually get that down there. Yeah, and we're a little bit dusty. I was sweeping stuff out and blowing a bunch of junk out of the garage. So here we are. I know, I guess this is not really in the sun. This cap right here, That thing doesn't, that thing does, it's not the cap, because I put the cap on, I actually removed it and put it on one of the other wheels and it locks up just fine. So I don't know if it's something inside the wheel or whatever, if there's anything I can do about that. But I mean, those wheels are going eventually anyway. So yeah, this is what we're working with. I don't know if you can really, yeah, it's kind of hard to see through all that dust. My goodness, this thing is a lot more dusty than I thought it was. Oh, and spider webs. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. It sits in the garage for that long. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, let's get an angle from the other side. You see this? Gosh, in the right light, that's satin black. I just love it. I really do. Yeah, this all needs to be cleaned up. It's, you know, I've cleaned up certain pieces here and there, but man, I can't wait till I rip this motor out and I can get in that engine bay and really go to town. I'm gonna move this main wiring harness. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna move that big wiring harness down below here. Clean that top area up a little bit. I might do a wire tuck. At the very least, if I don't do a wire tuck, I'm gonna get new wrap or plastic stuff. I can't remember what they call this stuff. I'm gonna redo all that. I'm gonna redo all the electrical tape. Probably try and get the original Ford stuff if I can. Just redo all the wiring in here because it just looks old. Just looks old and junky. So anyway, all right, so that's about it. You know, I'm sure that there's gonna be some more things that pop up. The more the car runs, the more I'm gonna notice some things. I am gonna have to get it smogged, so a lot of this stuff I'm probably gonna have to work out before I even try and do that, which will be interesting. You know, I'm not gonna be able to drive it around on the street until I get to that point. I may take my chances and roll it around the block. Kind of nervous. My driveway is really slanted, and if I can't get this thing back into the garage for some reason, oh man, if it were to, like, I don't know, just totally crap out on me and I would have to figure out a way to get it back in the garage, I mean, that'd be a nightmare. I should have got a house with a flat driveway, you guys. I mean, really. So anyway, I have plenty of stuff to do. I know I keep saying it, but I still gotta get on that body work. You know, at least you know, none of the dings in the car are very deep. They're less than 1/8 of an inch. Most of them are barely even visible. So, you know, I'm not gonna have to go crazy. I'm not gonna have to go nuts with, you know, dollies and body hammers and all that kind of stuff. A little bit of filler on tiny little dings like that is just fine. It will hold up as long as the surface is prepped properly. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I hate to start grinding through that black paint because I do like it to all be one color, but it's got to get there somehow, and it ain't gonna, the body work ain't gonna do itself. So anyway, just kind of wanted to give you guys an update of where I'm at with it, and what needs to happen next, all that good stuff. So good to see it out of the garage. I got some stuff over here to sweep up before I even try and pull it back in, so I'm gonna get to that, and that's pretty much gonna wrap it up, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and I appreciate everybody who's subscribed and liked and commented and all that other stuff. It means a lot to me. It helps keep me going on this. So yeah, you guys are awesome, and I really, really do appreciate it. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good one, and we will catch up with you next time. Okay, so just got the car pulled back in the garage. It went up here just fine. Pretty happy about that, because I don't want to try and have to push this thing back in. No thank you. I have to get all my friends here to do that. Anyway, so there were a couple of things that that I think I may have forgotten to mention. One being the voltmeter jumps a lot. Like when the engine revs, the voltmeter just sways big time. I know that there's a certain amount of variation, and that is pretty normal, but it looks to be a little much to me. So I'm gonna have to figure that out too. I don't know, you know, it may be the alternator that's going out. It may just be because there's an underdrive pulley on the alternator. You know, I really don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on that and figure that out. Also, vacuum. I'm going to have to chase down some vacuum leaks. I'm almost 100% positive that there are at least a couple. So build me one of those little smoke machine things that Brutal has. I'm gonna have to go back and look and figure out how to do that. Let's see. I know that there was one other thing. What was it? Oh, that's right. The idle. The idle is high. It is idling right now at around 1,000, 1,100 RPMs. Now, once the engine warms up a little more, it drops down a bit to probably about 900, 950. So that'll probably just go along with that base idle reset. Once I get that all taken care of, we'll adjust everything where it needs to be. So hopefully that's what's doing that. Maybe chasing down some of this vacuum stuff will help that out a little bit too. We'll see. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be a little bit of a road, but you guys hopefully will be with me the entire time. And yeah, so that's about it. Just a couple quick things that, you know, I forgot to say while I was, you know, doing the rest of it. I get so excited about this stuff. I'm just happy the thing is running. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Okay, last thing, I swear, I promise. I know I've come back a couple of times here, but this is it. If anybody heard anything, saw anything, you know, has any ideas for any of the stuff I'm talking about, especially if you heard something about how the car was running or whatever, that you think I should know about, or if you have any tips or anything like that, please let me know. Leave a comment. I'd be, you know, more than grateful. You know, I've worked on these things for a long time, but I've gotten, you know, I've done the basic stuff on them. I don't know everything there is to know. I'm definitely not a pro when it comes to, you know, these Fox bodies and the engine management systems and all the sensors and all that kind of stuff. You know, I worked on carbureted cars for the most part until I got this, and you know, the 93 I had was perfect. It wasn't until I put the motor in this that I really had to start digging around, and even then, once I got it to a level where it passed smog and run pretty well, I was happy with it. But there were still these things, like, you know, I still remember the idle hang and, you know, the high idle and stuff like that. So you know, if anybody has any advice or any comments or anything like that, please leave them. You know, I'm gonna need that stuff. You know, until then, I'm gonna be hunting down this stuff on my own. So it'd be great to hear from you guys, and thanks for watching.